You are listening to DFPN, the Dat Feeling Podcast Network. If you'd like to advertise with us or have a great podcast idea that needs a home, please reach out to us at podcastdatfeeling@gmail.com. Subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you love to listen to your favorite podcasts. And always remember to question the answers. Go get it.
What is up, everybody? What is up, everybody? This is your boy, Bred Like a King. Matus Kelvin Kaylee. I am solo dolo today. We are going to take time out of our normal wrestling talk. And I had a couple days to think about this, and I didn't want to come on and give you some scripted show. I normally don't really have a game plan, but I'm really, wrestling is my thing. You know, I can look at it, talk about it, shoot from the hip, and everything's fine. But for this particular episode, I'm gonna shoot from the hip, but today we're gonna be talking about the one and only, the late great, and I can't even believe I'm saying that, the late great Kobe Bryant. You've heard stories from countless people, both fans and players and coaches and everybody. There's been so much talk about how great of a player Kobe Bryant was, and he certainly was that. And the love that the city of Los Angeles had for him. If you live anywhere near LA, which I happen to live about an hour north of LA, if you just look at this city and what he meant to the city, it was incredible. It was incredible to watch the love that this city had for this man. And how even after he retired, the city, how they embraced him and his daughters and his family. And even then there was talk of how great his daughter Gianna was going to be. God rest her soul, and God rest everybody's souls that perished that day in that terrible, terrible helicopter crash. There was so much talk about how great she was going to be and how she was going to be the female version of Kobe Bryant. There was talk of that even now at 13. There was so much talk about how good she was. If you go on YouTube, there are so many YouTube videos of her at the Mamba Academy and her playing against older players and just putting on a show. There was a lot of talk of that. So it's really unfortunate and it's really heartbreaking that we lost not only her and the rest of those passengers, and it's just sad the way you lose someone like Kobe Bryant. Now, I want to, before I dive into this, because I have a lot to say, and it's more so about the reaction surrounding his death and the talk about Kobe Bryant after his death. But it's just unfortunate that we have to lose someone that great so early, when he really did have a lot else to do here on this earth. But when it's your time, it's your time. I get that. And I was not a Kobe Bryant fan. I'll start there. I was not a Kobe Bryant fan. I was as much of a Kobe Bryant hater as you could possibly be, because my favorite team is the Phoenix Suns. And every single time he played them, he put on a clinic. It was horrible. As a Phoenix Suns fan, it's horrible to watch someone like Kobe Bryant do that to your team, because there was no way to stop him. There was no one on Phoenix that could stop him. coupled with the fact that the last real good year that Phoenix had, he destroyed them in the playoffs. I think that was the last 2010 when they went on to win the championship. I think that was the last time they went to the playoffs, period. I don't think they've been back since. And I've been a fan all this time. I've been a fan of Phoenix since Charles Barkley was there. And they almost won the championship. And then Jordan destroyed them. So, needless to say, I was not a Kobe Bryant fan. As a matter of fact, nothing made me happier than when the Celtics beat them. That's how much of a non-Kobe Bryant fan that I was. And I know I'm going to get some flack for this, but whatever. I was not a Kobe Bryant fan. But do not put that in the same category as I didn't respect him, because I respected his game. I just didn't like when he played the Phoenix Suns. Was not a fan of him at all. But what he did was incredible in his career. You can't put into words what he did in his career, all of his achievements. There will never be another Kobe Bryant in the league. Not right now, anyway. There will never be another Kobe Bryant. And I mean that with the utmost sincerity. I always compared him to Michael Jordan, but if you actually paid attention to Kobe Bryant, yeah, he modeled his game after Kobe Bryant, but there was no one that was going to outwork him, period, point blank. If you were on the court with him, you were not the best player on the court. He was. Latter years, you can argue, once he tore his Achilles, and you can argue he declined, but all players decline. Jordan did it. Every great player did it. So it was coming sooner or later. But in his prime, he could will a team to a win. And look no further than the 2 championships he won without Shaq. He willed a team through the entire 2 seasons. He willed them to two playoff appearances and then 2 championships. So you can't knock what the man did. You have to respect what Kobe Bryant did. You have to. There's no way you can't look at him on the basketball court and say that man wasn't good, because you'd be lying. You'd be lying to yourself, and quite frankly, you'd be a sucker for hating. But what I really want to focus on, and this is going to be kind of a rant, I guess. I'm ranting at this, but whatever. It needs to be said. I put up a post on Facebook a couple weeks ago. Well, not a couple weeks ago. About a week and a half ago. Or actually, about a week ago. I put up a post that said, quite simply, black people never truly live to be heroes. And in often cases, it's worse when you die. That is how I feel. Look no further than Kobe Bryant. I correlated that directly to Kobe Bryant. Because as great as this man was, as revered as he was, in almost everybody's eyes, he was a great player, right? But then there was still, once he passed away, there was this talk of, well, let's bring up the rape allegation back in 2002. Let's bring that up because his legacy is complicated. How the fuck so? How? He was acquitted of that. Actually, he wasn't even acquitted of it. It didn't even really go to trial. There was nothing to go forth there. They didn't even prosecute him for that. So how is that a stain on his legacy? The man's gone. What do you want to do? You want to bring him back and say, hey, But before you go off to heaven or wherever it is you're going, Kobe Bryant, let's talk about this rape allegations. The man's gone. You can't bring him back to talk about it. He's gone. And the most fucked up part about this whole thing is he died being the thing he wanted to be the most. That is the greatest sadness out of all this. He died doing what he wanted to do the most, and that's be a good father to his daughter. That's how he left us. And any father that has kids that's in sports, you know what that means. You're there because that means something to you. That actually means something to you. Like, I have 2 kids that are going to play this Saturday, right? I'm actually kind of pissed off because there's a game. They both have games at the same time. So I have to pick and choose which one I have to go to. Naturally, I coach one of them, so I have to be at the game. But I'm going to miss the other one. I'm actually pissed off about that. Now imagine if something were to happen to one of my kids and me. You talking about my wife be distraught, my family be distraught, my mom will be distraught. Everybody who knew me will be distraught. Now picture on top of that, some fucked up shit comes out. Right? Well, this happened back then, so let's bring it up. Who's going to give a fuck? I'm not here anymore. Why is that? Why is that? The man was a great player, and that one situation is all anybody's going to harp on. Well, his legacy's complicated. How? How, sir? How, ma'am? How is his legacy complicated? Because he dusted the fuck out of people on the court. How? Since this is a wrestling podcast, the closest thing I could say, right, to correlate that to it is Chris Benoit. Right? You don't even want to talk about the shit. He's dead, he's gone, let's leave it alone. Let's focus on his in-ring career. Right? And there's still people clamoring for Chris Benoit to get in the Hall of Fame. But Kobe was revered everywhere, including people in the wrestling business. How are we looking at this one instance? And I get it. Well, he put himself in that situation. Okay, that's your argument. Cool beans, man. I'm not going to argue with you on that. But he's gone. Nothing you say or do is gonna bring that back. And this is not just a Kobe Bryant instance, right? We had this fucked up documentary about Michael Jackson on HBO 10 years after the man's been gone. He's been dead for 10 years. Let's put out a documentary exposing this shit. Why? Why? What the fuck are you possibly going to do? Are you going to go to his grave, dig his body up, and bring it to court and prosecute it? Why? He's dead. If anything, he's paid for it already, 10 times fold. If it was the honest to God truth, he's probably atoned for it already. And then you have the stupidity of a person that says, like, they try to make jokes out of this shit, but it's really not funny. Like, the rapist is dead. He got what he deserved. Fuck you. And I mean that from the utmost part of my heart. Go fuck yourself. Because that's not funny. And me saying go fuck yourself shouldn't be funny. But go fuck yourself. Unbelievable. Like, people, like, I understand you want attention. I really do. I understand you want attention. But that's not how you get it, man. That's really not how you get it. That is the worst way to try to get attention. Because now you're going to set yourself up. Someone somewhere is going to be like a hardcore fan. And they're going to notice that you said that shit. And guess what? You're going to get your ass dusted. You really will. Like, can we please have some class about someone passing away? Right? Let him rest, man. Let the man rest. He did his job. And worse than that, he left here being a father. Not a ball player. Not a famous person. A father. That's how he left this earth. Being a father. Going to do some dad shit. And then you got people, and it's repulsive, man. Like, you have people asking questions. Like, I just saw Gayle King did a whole interview with Lisa Leslie, and that shit got brought up. Now, Gayle King, to her credit, tried to come out and say that that's not how she did the interview. But why even bring that shit up? Why? Because I tell you what, Jerry West, the logo of the fucking NBA, Jerry West is on TV uncontrollably crying behind this man. The logo. That's just the logo of the NBA. This man is the logo of the NBA. When you see NBA, you see his body attempting a layup. That man is on television uncontrollably crying, sad, heartbroken. Shaq, sad, heartbroken. And they actually had beef with each other at a point. Not really beef, because Shaq will tell you it's not beef, but they didn't see eye to eye either. Crying until everybody that came in contact with this man and actually knew this man was crying. Sad. Couldn't believe that it happened. You know what didn't get brought up? Oh, man, I can't believe, that whole rape allegation back in 2002 is the thing that I have to think about the most now that he's gone. No, he's gone. Like, this shit is so fucking unbelievable, bro. Unbelievable. That's the shit that, like, for real, and maybe I'm reading too much into this black person thing. Maybe I should just, maybe I am reading too much into it. But that's just from the lens that I'm looking at it. Because not too many black people I know, like, lived to be heroes, and then once they left, it's like, okay, he lived an extraordinary life. Not too many black people I know do that, like, get that treatment. Not even Martin Luther King. There's still, like, debates 50 some odd years after his death. Like, was he really about the civil rights of black people at the end of his life? Like, somebody always tries to find some little thing to just, like, well, he did this and he did that. Malcolm X, for all of his work, he was too much of a person for the black party, And let's not forget, he was pimping before he was doing all of that stuff. Like, why can't we just fucking live, die, and that's it? Why? Why do we have to, like, we got to be under a fucking microscope? You know what I mean? We can't just be great. There's always like he was a threat to society, or there's always some but part in there, you know? And I don't know. Maybe I'm just reading too much into it. I guess. I shouldn't even put this episode out because I'm mad, but fuck it. It's coming out. But I don't know, man. Rest in peace to Kobe Bryant. Rest in peace to all the other 8 passengers, including his daughter that was on that flight, on that helicopter flight. And my condolences to the family. May God wrap his arms around you, because, man, that's tough. For his mom and his dad, and that's the thing, man, like, that's somebody's child. They're going to have to bury him. And that's somebody's grandchild. They're going to have to bury their grandchild and their child, both of whom they expected to outlive. And then, because he's such a public figure, I'm pretty sure they're hearing about this shit. You know what I mean? Like, please, man, let it go. Let the man rest in peace, man. Let him, please. He deserves that much. All the shit that he did to entertain millions and millions of people and help millions and millions of people across this world. There's kids right now in the NBA playing, escaping poverty because of this man. Let him rest, man. His memory will live on. Let's keep it a positive memory. I mean, don't focus on the bullshit. Please. Let the man rest in peace. He deserves that much. And with that being said, this is your boy Blak Makk. Made is Kelvin K. Lee. This concludes my rant for today. Y'all have love. Make sex. Out.